Boxing has given us legendary names like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and Floyd Mayweather, fighters who transcended the sport, leaving indelible marks on history. But what about the men and women who never became famous? The fighters who possessed raw talent, incredible determination, and unforgettable heart, yet remain largely forgotten. This is the story of the unsung heroes of boxing, those legendary fighters who never became household names. Boxing has been called the sweet science, an art form blending power, agility, and strategy. The sport has produced countless champions, from the golden age of the 1920s to the modern era. But for every famous boxer, there were many others whose careers were just as compelling, yet didn't reach the heights of fame. Take the story of Jack, the Giant Killer Broughton, for example. Born in 1739, Broughton was a pioneer of early boxing rules, shaping what we now know as the sport today. Despite his immense talent and innovative contributions, he's a figure lost to history, overshadowed by later stars. Broughton's legacy includes introducing the boxing glove and developing a system of rules that made the sport safer, but it was forgotten in the shadows of later legends like Jack Johnson and Joe Louis. Another example is Carmen Basilio, a true fighter's fighter who ruled the welterweight division in the 1950s. Basilio was known for his unrelenting style and heart, even when he faced future legends like Sugar Ray Robinson. Despite his success in the ring and becoming a world champion, his story never captured the public imagination. Sometimes, boxing's forgotten heroes are relegated to obscurity due to forces beyond their control, racial barriers, limited opportunities, or just bad timing. Barney Ross, a Jewish fighter from Chicago, was one of the most skilled champions of the 1930s. His remarkable versatility, capturing titles in multiple weight classes, should have made him a household name. But with the rise of other fighters, particularly from more mainstream backgrounds, Ross's story is too often overlooked. During an era when racial discrimination was rampant, fighters like Ross had to fight not only in the ring, but also against the systemic prejudices that kept them from reaching the broader public's eye. Then there are those fighters whose careers were cut short due to tragedy, leaving us with what could have been. Billy Collins Jr. was a young, promising boxer who seemed poised for greatness. But after a brutal fight with Luis Resto in 1983, where Resto's gloves were tampered with, Collins was left permanently blinded and mentally scarred. His career and his life were never the same. Collins was a fighter who could have been remembered among the greats. Instead, his career ended in heartache, and his name faded into the background, overshadowed by the scandals that followed. Boxing history is often male-dominated, but there have always been remarkable women whose skill and courage were overshadowed by the male-dominated world of sports. Barbara Buttrick, known as the Mighty Atom, was a powerhouse in the 1950s. A boxing pioneer, Buttrick won multiple world championships in the flyweight division, but her story was buried under the weight of a sport that was reluctant to embrace women. Despite her accomplishments, Buttrick never achieved the recognition of male champions of her era. Her legacy is one of perseverance, strength, and breaking barriers, yet her name remains largely unknown. Throughout history, there have been countless fighters who showed incredible promise, only to fade into obscurity due to bad timing, lack of opportunities, or personal challenges. Pernell "Sweet Pea" Whitaker, one of the best defensive boxers of all time, is remembered by some, but his story has often been pushed aside by bigger, flashier names of the era. Whitaker was an undefeated champion, but his brilliance was often lost in the shadow of other superstars. He was a true technician, weaving through punches like a dancer, and yet, outside the boxing community, his name is seldom recognized. While these fighters may not have become famous in the traditional sense, their impact on the sport is undeniable. They laid the groundwork for future generations, changed the rules, and inspired countless fighters who followed. Boxing may have its legends, but it also has its hidden gems, those who fought for the love of the sport, even when the spotlight didn't shine on them. The forgotten heroes of boxing may not have achieved fame or fortune, but their legacy endures in the heart of every true fight fan. These legendary fighters, though overlooked, remind us that greatness isn't always measured by fame. Sometimes, It's defined by the courage to step into the ring and fight, no matter the odds. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts on these forgotten boxing legends in the comments below. And as always, keep fighting for what you believe in.